If age doesn't automatically create disease, then why does risk increase as we get older? This is where the conversation becomes more precise. Aging does change the body. Over time, cells accumulate damage. Recovery becomes slower. Hormonal patterns shift. Muscle mass naturally declines. Inflammation can become more persistent. These biological changes increase vulnerability. But vulnerability is not the same as inevitability. Think of aging as a gradual shift in resilience. The body may become less forgiving, but it is still highly responsive to how it is treated. Research in aging science often describes this process as the interaction between biological aging and lifestyle exposure. The passage of time creates susceptibility. Long-term habits influence how strongly the susceptibility expresses itself. For example, two individuals of the same age can show very different metabolic profiles. One may have stable blood sugar, healthy blood pressure, and preserved mobility. The other may be dealing with multiple chronic conditions. Chronological age is identical, but biological expression is not. Studies examining biological age markers, such as inflammation levels, metabolic health, and cardiovascular fitness, consistently show wide variation among people of the same age group. Some individuals age more slowly at the cellular level. Others experience accelerated aging linked to prolonged metabolic stress, inactivity, or poor sleep patterns. The important point is not comparison. It is variability. Variability suggests influence. Large longitudinal studies have shown that consistent physical activity, balanced nutrition, sufficient sleep, and stress regulation are associated with slower biological aging markers and lower incidence of chronic disease. The specific research referenced here is linked in the description if you'd like to explore it directly. Again, this is not about guaranteeing perfect outcomes. Some conditions are strongly influenced by genetics. Others are shaped by environmental exposures beyond personal control. But many of the most common age-associated diseases develop gradually. They often reflect long-term strain placed on metabolic systems, cardiovascular structures, and inflammatory pathways. Time increases exposure. Habits shape that exposure. That distinction matters. When aging is viewed only as decline, it can feel discouraging. But when aging is understood as increased sensitivity to accumulated patterns, it becomes more actionable. Small stresses repeated daily can compound negatively. Small supportive behaviors repeated daily can compound positively. The body is constantly adapting to signals. Movement sends one signals. Sedentary behavior sends another. Nutrient-dense food sends one message. Chronic excess sends another. Restorative sleep communicates something different than persistent sleep deprivation. Over decades, those signals accumulate. That is why age increases risk. Not because disease is programmed to appear at a certain birthday, but because cumulative exposure becomes more visible over time. This perspective is not about fault. It is not about oversimplifying complex health realities. It is about understanding probability and influence. The encouraging part is this: adaptation continues throughout life, even later in adulthood. Research shows improvements in strength, metabolic health, and cardiovascular capacity are possible when consistent supportive habits are introduced. Resilience may change with age. Responsiveness does not disappear. The next video will move from theory to action. We'll look at 3 evidence-based daily habits that consistently appear in long-term health research and explore how they influence aging biology over time. If you'd like to review the studies mentioned here, they are linked in the description below. Because understanding risk is the first step, applying consistent patterns is the next.